see you in just a bit. From the WFBI team now, lawmakers say the system failed when it comes to a child who died from apparent starvation in Ascension Parish. The 5-year-old weighed only 19 pounds.
His parents, Marlon Perilou and Renisha Young, are charged with negligent homicide and child cruelty. Tonight, lawmakers asked pointed questions about who knew what and when, and why they were never notified about it. Our chief investigator, Chris Nakamoto, was at the Capitol today as lawmakers demanded an explanation into how this happened. Chris.
Well, good evening, Liz and Greg. Many lawmakers found out about all of this after watching WAFB's 6 p.m. news on Friday, although some sitting on the committee said today was the first time ever that they heard of it. Tonight, one lawmaker is promising changes after this 5-year-old's death. A house of horror, a family living in squalor, as seen in this video from inside their Geismar apartment, obtained exclusively by the WAFBI team. The inside of the house shows the conditions inside, where investigators say 5-year-old Marley Perilou starved to death, weighing only 19 pounds when he died.
When we found out about it, this was the first that this child had not been seen. And
the child was 5.
His death this month in Ascension Parish, the focus of a heated back and forth at the state capitol Wednesday before the task force on child abuse investigations.
So that's in my parish. Yes. I didn't even know anything about that.
Lawmakers fuming over the lack of notification by the state.
The question is when that notification should be triggered is the question.
That is the question.
The department is notifying me that they're investigating. I'm not notifying the legislators because that's not what the law says. The law says when the death occurred due to abuse or neglect.
Kathleen Ritchie, seen here, is a former East Baton Rouge juvenile court judge who now serves as an ombudsman. It's her job to give notifications to lawmakers about child deaths when there are confirmed cases of neglect. In this case, Ritchie says lawmakers were not notified about the child's death because the investigation by the state is still not completed.
Do you feel like the system failed?
Absolutely. It absolutely failed. It failed in multiple areas, and I am going to keep digging. I know that it's still an ongoing investigation, but I will continue to dig to find out why it failed and who is actually responsible for this failure.
Within 24 hours of the child dying on New Year's Day, the parents were both arrested, charged with negligent homicide, cruelty to juveniles, and drug charges.
This is probably the worst case of child neglect I've seen in my 34 years of law enforcement.
Marlon Perilou and Renisha Young remain locked up without bond. Investigators say in addition to the child only weighing 19 pounds and dying of apparent malnutrition, there were also signs the child had suffered multiple injuries over his short life.
Frustrated, saddened, upset, because this is a human being, a child, 5 years old, that no one saw, right? No one saw. And so to find out 14 days later, and really only because of the news, was extremely alarming.
The law does not require that the legislators be notified of that.
Currently, state law only requires a notification to lawmakers after the conclusion of a DCFS investigation.
This, to me, is just complete epic failure.
Barrows says she'll propose changes after this 5-year-old's death.
We could change the law. And that is one of the things that we definitely will be looking at. We will be looking at changing the law as it relates to that.
Friday, neighbors told us they were stunned by the 5-year-old's death. They say the parents never asked for help.
Really don't make no sense. We're a neighborhood where somebody needs something, that we have something going on. You're more than welcome to come get a plate or any way we can help out.
Meanwhile, Barrows says the lack of notification about cases like this one have lawmakers operating without information needed to address situations like these.
We are charged with making sure that our communities are safe, that our communities are viable, and that we are informed of what's happening in our community. We can't know everything, but something of this magnitude, we should know.
Now, as a result of the discussion today, there's talk about notifications being made when an arrest happens after a child dies. We've learned charges could also be upgraded against the parents as this investigation continues. For the WAFBI team, I'm Chris Nakamoto. Greg, Liz.